Good morning, children. Today we will study the 9th chapter of your history book, the Mughal Empire. The Mughal Empire was considered as the golden period of Indian history. The Mughals ruled in India for more than 300 years, that is, from the year 1526 to 1858. The year 1526 is the year when Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodi. That is, after the Lodis came the Mughals. The Mughal Empire ruled for most of India and Pakistan. This is the era in which the Indian history saw the golden period, as the phenomenon of single central ruling power came into existence in the country. That is, one power will rule maximum part of the country. You can observe here that maximum area of the country is ruled by one power. The Mughal dynasty has contributed immensely with their culture, tradition, ethnicity and artistry to the Indian history. Let me show you the Mughal rulers in a grand picture. Babur ruled from the year 1526 till 1530. Humayun 1530 to 1540, and in a break in between from 1540 to 1545 came an Afghan ruler, Sher Shah Suri, and again from 1545 to 1559 Humayun ruled. 1555-9, before that, before Humayun's death, Akbar was nominated as the king. So 1556 to 1605 Akbar became the Mughal emperor. Jahangir from 1605 to 1627, Shah Jahan from 1627 to 1657, and Aurangzeb, the last important Mughal ruler, from 1657 to 1707. So here I can show you the picture of the golden period of the Indian history. Daulat Khan Lodi, that is the last important ruler of the Lodi dynasty, was not satisfied by the Sultan's rule. He persuaded, or you can say he invited, Zahiruddin Muhammad, that is Babur, to invade India and defeat the Lodi Sultan. So, at the great battle of Panipat, Ibrahim Lodi, who was then the Sultan of the Lodis, was defeated by Babur, and this was the end of the Lodi dynasty and the foundation of the Mughal period. So Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodi in the great battle of Panipat, and thus this became a foundation for the Mughal dynasty. Babur, the Mughal emperor, the first Mughal emperor. Zahiruddin Muhammad Babur was born on 14th February 1483, sometimes also spelled as Babur. He founded the Mughal Empire after his victories, the first victory, the Battle of Panipat, after defeating Ibrahim Lodi. He was the direct descendant of Amir Timur, and through his father also he descended the Genghis Khan through his mother. His ancestral domains in Central Asia, Babur turned to India to satisfy his ambitions. So Babur was very ambitious and he wanted to lay a grand empire, and that empire should be named from his name. After Babur fell seriously ill, Humayun, his eldest son, was summoned from his Jagir. He died at the age of 47 on 26 December 1530, and his son Humayun became the next Mughal king. Humayun, 1530 to 1556. Although he had a break in between, he is also known as the luckless leader. After Babur died, he was succeeded by his son Humayun in 1530. Humayun was 23 years old then. He was not as benevolent like his father, but he was a very wise leader. From the very beginning, Humayun had to face lot of difficulties. all the nobles compared Humayun to his father, because of which he got a very disorganized empire. And the constant attacks of the Afghans under the leadership of Sher Shah Suri brought a lot of problem for Humayun. So Humayun lost his empire from 1540 to 1545. He gained the power and came into the power again. He was exiled but later regained and came into power in 1555. After 1 year, he died in the year 1556 by falling down from the steps of his library, and also known as the luckless one, because although he had luck somewhere down the line in his side, he could not rule benevolently as the other kings. Sher Shah Suri, the Afghan ruler, because of whose constant attacks it was difficult for Humayun to rule the Mughal empire. Sher Shah was the son of the noble of Jaunpur in Bihar. His real name is Farid. He was very ambitious and aimed at driving away the Mughals from India and re-establish an Afghan power. He defeated Humayun 2 times, once at Chausa in 1539, another time at Kannauj in 1540 AD. In 1537, when Babur's son Humayun was elsewhere on an expedition, Sher Shah overran the state of Bengal and established the Sur dynasty. Sher Shah defeated Humayun and his brothers at the Battle of Kannauj and put a temporary break to the Mughal rule. Sher Shah also conquered Punjab, Sindh, Gwalior and Malwa. Furthermore, about his administration, Sher Shah has done brilliant organization in military and civil affairs. He had 2 kinds of administration, central administration and provincial administration. He also started the Suri stamp system in the year 15th century. Let me tell you further more details about Sher Shah's administration. He organized a brilliant administrative system. The central government consisted of several departments. The king was assisted by 4 important ministers, Diwani Wizarat, known as Wazir, in charge of revenue and finance, that is the money power. Diwani Aris, in charge of army. Diwani Risalat, the foreign minister. Diwani Insha, minister for communications. Sher Shah's empire was divided into 47 sarkars. Chief Sirdar, under law and order. Chief Munsif, the judge, with the 2 important officers in charge of administration in each of the sarkar. So each sarkar, 47 sarkars were there. So in each sarkar they had Chief Sikdar and Chief Munshif. Each sarkar was furthermore divided into several parganas. Shikdar was the military officer, Amin was the land revenue, Fautidar was the treasurer, Karkuns were accountants in charge of administration of each pargana. So sarkar, under sarkars they were parganas, and the parganas has further all these important officers. There were also administrative units called iktas. He unilaterally decided that best system of assessment must be based on actual measurement, and accordingly the empire was looked after. Adding furthermore jewels to the contribution of Sher Shah Suri, he also built Grand Trunk Road from Bengal to Peshawar. Sher Shah Suri also had built sarais, and these sarais were used as dark chowkis. He introduced the rupiah or the silver coin system and built a new city on the banks of Yamuna near Delhi. That is all for the chapter. Furthermore about the Mughals, I will tell you in the next chapter. I hope you understand. Thank you.